Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Najwa Husseini with Azadi News. UN chief hopes for return of Rohingya refugees in dignity after Burmese election. Rohingya frustrated over polarized elections in Burma. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres on Friday expressed hope that the Burmese elections would allow the return of millions of Rohingya refugees in safety and dignity. He also hoped that the polls would help advance inclusive, sustainable development, humanitarian action, human rights, and democratic reforms. The UN chief reiterated his appeal for a ceasefire across the country and allow all to focus on combating the COVID-19 pandemic. He expressed concern over the armed conflict in many areas of Burma, especially the intensifying clashes in Arakan and Chin states. National League for Democracy (NLD) leader Aung San Suu Kyi is widely expected to return to power in the November 8th polls. This is Burma's second election since the nation emerged from outright military rule. The country, which transitioned into a democratic system just 5 years ago, presently has nearly 37 million eligible voters who can cast their votes on November 8th. According to the Associated Press, Aung San Suu Kyi, who was elected with a landslide majority, is predicted to win again, despite critics arguing that her administration has failed to embrace democratic principles. Living in squalid makeshift tents in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, more than 1 million Rohingya have been disenfranchised in the Sunday's general elections in Burma, rising frustration among the persecuted people. More than 1.1 million Rohingya refugees have been living in Bangladesh as stateless people, according to government figures. The National League for Democracy (NLD), led by Aung San Suu Kyi, won a landslide victory over the main competitor military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party (USDP) in 2015 Burmese elections. Over 1.3 million minority Rohingya community living in Burma till then were disqualified from voting under the controversial 1982 citizenship law of the country. But the Rohingya people wholeheartedly supported de facto leader Suu Kyi in the 2015 elections, hoping she would pay heed to the legitimate rights of Rohingya. The optimism, however, faded out after nearly 1 million Rohingya fled the brutal military crackdown in Burma's Arakan state in August 2017. According to a late November 2019 report of the UN Refugee Agency, more than 800,000 Rohingya in Bangladesh's camps have been registered by the agency in collaboration with the Bangladesh government. Camp-based Rohingya leader Majhi Ansar Ali told Anadolu agency that they were deeply shocked and surprised that despite repeated appeals by rights defenders, the Burmese authorities were holding the elections excluding the country's minority ethnic groups. We never accept such polarized elections and it should not be accepted by the international community, Ali added. Also criticizing the move, another Rohingya at Bangladesh's camp said, "Polls without Rohingya and other ethnic minorities are totally against human rights. I appeal to the international community to come in action against Burma for discriminating minorities," Najimullah cried. Describing the election as non-participatory and absurd, Cha Win, executive director of UK-based Rohingya rights defender Burma Human Rights Network (BHRN), said the elections cannot be accepted in any standard. The decision of disenfranchisement of Rohingya and negating the votes of ethnic minorities in order to ensure an election is democratic is absurd on its face, Win told Anadolu agency. He added it is especially telling that people historically oppressed by the military and government are the ones told that they cannot have a say in the general elections. This is today's news. To get more updates about Rohingya, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. Visit our website azadinews.org and follow our social media accounts. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.